Hey everyone, you're home with the tools of James, and today I'm going to show you how to hide your deck screws using the Kreg deck jig. Easy to use. Let's go jump straight in. I'll show you how to use it. Well, okay, so what do you get in the box? So you can see here we've got the jig, we've got our drill bits, and we've got some spacers for our decking board. So I'll start off with the jig. It did require a little bit of assembly. I won't show you that. Pretty straightforward. It's just some nuts and bolts in the back like so, and that puts your drill guides onto your jig. Now the jig itself, it's really cool. It's got some 45-degree guides here, and it's also got stud guides here for going into your deck, which I find really useful. And the other thing it's got your setup for your driver bit and your setup for your drill bit to put your collars on. What are the collars? So this is the depth stop. So when we go into the jig, it stops you from going too far into your timber and over driving into the wood. So this is really cool because you set it up like so. It comes with the Allen keys. You can see a little grub screw there. You just tighten up and away you go. So that's for the drill bit, and you can see the drill bit, bring it up close, is stepped, and that gives you that nice little socket for the screw head to sit into. And then you've got the driver bit. They call it the Kreg square drive. It actually looks more like a Torx or a Star bit on the end of there. Same deal with the collar system. You just drop it in and you tighten up and you've got your depth, and away you go. So they couldn't make that too much easier. All right, so it also comes with these spacers. Now these are 1/4 inch spacers, and these are recommended for the skinnier boards if you like I've got behind me here in the 90mm board. These are 1/4 inch spacer. You can also get these in blue, and they're a 5/16 spacer, and they're recommended for a wider board like a 130mm. So I'm sticking with these. I did buy another bag of them, cost me about 15 bucks. I just found that I only got 3 with the kit. I think I got another 10 in here, so when I'm doing long span boards, I had plenty of them to do the job. All right, so now the fasteners now these are sold separately. They're a 2-inch, and they're covered in a Protec coat, these ones. You can get them in stainless steel, and I like that they kind of make them like the timber color so they don't stand out. 2-inch, you can see the head on them like so. What's really good about these two, the box of 700, you get a bit each one. You do go through these. You chew them up pretty quickly. I've found that I've used one box so far, and I've pretty much, the drill bit's cactus. So you will need these. Big job like mine, I'm probably going to go through 3-4 boxes of these. So I'll have 3 or 4 goes at wrecking the bit. The other thing to notice, and I did neglect to mention on the jig, the other piece of assembly you get these surface savers that go on the bottom, and that's just so that when you're putting it down on the timber, it doesn't mar the surface. And I've got a couple of spares there as well, so you can see the 6 of them sitting on there. So just something to be aware of. All right, let's jump in and I'll show you how to use this thing. Well, okay, let's set our board up. I've cut this one to length, and we're going to get our spacers in first, like so. Okay, so we've got our board in place, ready to go. We put our spacers in. Just note with the spacers where you do put them, make sure you don't put them anywhere you need to slide the jig onto. The jig does have a bit of a face plate here, which will grab and hug the front of the board. So we're just going to put that into place. We're lining up the guides on the jig with our joist. Got our drill with our drill bit, straight in like so, nice and firmly, like so. And what I like about it is there is a little pocket over the top so you can see the work that you're doing. Drop the screw straight in like so. Take our driver now. I've got the clutch set on this, so you will hear the clutch grab just as I go in. That's just to make sure that there's no overdriving on the screw. That easy. Then for the other side of the board, you just turn your jig around like so, drop it in, and you can do all this working this way. You don't need to jump over the other side of the jig to do it. You can if you want to, but I just found it's easy like this. Drill in like so. Drill the hole, same process. In we go. Beautiful. There you go. Secret screw. All right, the other thing we want to look at is we've got the 45s on this as well. I'll show you their purpose. Let's go. Okay, at some point in your deck build, you're going to come across either a post or the end of a board like this where you want to put a screw in, and you're not going to be able to use the jig in the center guide. This is where these 45s come in. So all you do here is run it up to the edge of the 45 like so. Now, probably the only drawback on this Kreg unit is that it would have been nice if it was fully solid plastic, because it can have just that little bit of flex in it. So I found when I'm doing these 45s, it's best if you bring the drill bit up to speed before you let it make contact with the timber like so. All right, so you can see there I've drilled into the side of the board nicely on the angle. Grab our screw, driver in. Clutch is a bit full on there. And there we go. In position, will be hidden, no one will ever see it. Now I mentioned these spacers. Now they get jammed in the timber, and they get jammed because we're using the deck jig this way. The screw that goes into the board on the 45-degree angle is really pulling the board over hard against it, so we're getting these nice tight gaps, but I can't get this out. So just bring a chisel with you or a screwdriver and just give it that tiny bit of tension like so, and they'll nip straight out. Don't do what I did and try and bash them out and break a few. Just do it that way, super easy. So here's a bit of a look at the finished product, and you know, ever so slight marks where the drill bit does go through, but look, you'd have to get right down on all fours to come and inspect it. You've probably got that one mate that's going to be a smart ass and jump in and go and have a bit of a look at it and have a dig at you. But walking around on the deck, you wouldn't notice it. People are just going to be like, wow, you know, look at the timber, how have you fastened this down? So works really, really well. And there you go, there's a closer look at the deck jig from Kreg. Look, worked really, really well. This is ironbark timber, this is an Aussie hardwood. I've actually got one of the trees in the backyard here, and it worked with the wood, no worries at all. You could also use this with composite or pine or whatever else you're using. It would all work the same, and certainly I'll be using the secret screw technique with the jig from here on out, rather than having the screws in the top of the board, which is what I've typically done. So it's a big tick in my book, an excuse to go out and buy another tool. But thanks for watching, and if you did enjoy the video, please drop a like and subscribe. Any questions you got, stick them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. But you've been home on the tools with James. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.